You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana.
Morning again. Guys, sorry about that. I having a little bit of technical difficulties. But we got them started. We're back. If you're here on the live again, I had to restart. So do me a favor and share the live so that persons who thought we ended and we're not having one today, they'll know that I'm back on. And sound is good. Yes, loud and clear. Thank you, Lola Harry, for confirming that for me. And everybody on the live, big up yourself, Lynette Cornelius. Share the live, 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 share the live. Right? So as I was saying earlier before you when you weren't hearing me, thanks to the morning to Mukesh Vishnu that thank you for letting me know the audio was not working. Big shout out to Alicia Duggan on the live for the first time. Big up yourself. Thank you for being here. And as I was saying before we got started, well, we got started, but we didn't have audio. As I was saying earlier, I should say, today is budget day 2024. And this can only all go well for Guyanese as we move forward under this Irfan Ali-led administration. We've been seeing development, progress, enhancement in communities, persons being able to upskill themselves, diversification in the agricultural sector, heavy investment in infrastructure, healthcare, tourism, education. There's so many things that we can talk about, but what I think is important is to understand that there are no new taxes that are coming. There will be no new taxes. And again, this can only mean well for Guyanese. So before we get into it, shout out to everybody on the live here already. So glad you guys could tune in. Big up yourself to Siram Chetty. Morning to Gil Ian. Jonah Wijan joining us again. Joe was on the first live with no audio. But I'm glad that you're here again. Was a morning to you. Morning to Pam Singh. How you doing? What's going on in the garden? Send me some photos. Lynette Cornelius, big up yourself. Again, Mukesh Vishnu, that morning to you. Lynette, I think it's from Linden. Lynette, I was in Linden there the other day. I don't know if anybody see the Linden MP is very happy about the bridge that is going to be built up there. That 4-lane connecting Wisman, Mackenzie, and allowing for the smooth flow of traffic, especially for things coming from the hinterland areas, even Brazil, Latam, and those places. So I was so glad to see that the MP Figueroa is on board with progress and wants to see things move forward. Guys, share the live for me. A special good morning to Miss Alicia Duggan as well. Guys, give her a good morning for me. This is the first time she's joining us on our live. Alicia is a TikTok influencer. So we're really glad to have you here. Felipe Valles, good morning. Saying morning from Jane. Right? Jane is from St. Martin. Hi, Jane. Morning to you. Jasmine Baldio, Ronald Martindale, morning to you. Victor Austin, morning to you. Aliyah Muhammad, Tracy Martindale. Tracy Martindale, good morning to you. How you doing? Big up Palmer Bartica people. And thank you for welcoming Alicia Lynette. Let's get into it. Oh my goodness. I ain't put the phone on silent. I think. Oh, Paul, morning. Hello. 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 Hi, Paul, morning. Hi. I live right now, bro. No, I had to restart it. Just refresh my Facebook page and click on the new live. All right, brother. Yeah, refresh the Facebook page. Paul and C in the live. Anyway, shout out to Councillor Alfonso de Armas on the live as well. And again, I said today's budget day. And when I saw Councillor de Armas's comment, I was wondering what car's coming in early today by. Morning, Carlo.
Good morning. I'm hearing you, man. I'm hearing you talk.
All right. Okay.
But you hear me? I just see a mouth walking up, but I'm hearing nothing.
Okay, so here's what we had a live that started and had to stop because of some mic issues. So refresh the Facebook page and there's a new live for you to join.
Okay.
All right, good, brother. That's make me feel good when the people call in and asking. But anyway, like I was saying, Councillor de Armas is on the live, and with today being budget 2024, the national budget, it brings me back to City Hall, which was not supposed to be my main focus this morning. What is happening with the budget there? What is the plan for 2024? When are we going to see City Hall stepping up and fulfilling its mandate to the citizenry of the capital city? I think the deadline for their budget has passed. What is going on? So hopefully tomorrow we'll have somebody from the Mayor and City Council on the program to give us an update in relation. Matter of fact, I'm going to ask Councillor Dancing to, he's on the finance committee, so we'll ask him to come on board. Wow. So people, look at this. This here is from Councillor de Armas. Now, mind you, this is the councillor that beat the sitting mayor, right? This councillor here, this comment you hear, November 15th was the deadline. No, November 15th was the deadline for the Mayor and City Council to submit their budget. But this councillor here, Alfonso de Armas, is the councillor who trounced Mayor Mentor. And yet Mr. Garraway had the gall to get up and tell a former mayor, a post he might never meet, nobody didn't vote for her. Anyway, let's get into our content for today. Now, as I said, today's budget day, and Minister Ashley Singh will be presenting the national budget for 2024 at the Artichon Conference Center at 2 p.m. today. I must emphasize, but before I emphasize, let me talk about the fiscal responsibility and the citizen-focused policies, right? Now, I must emphasize that the government's commitment to advancing the lives of Guyanese citizens through well-crafted policies and programs. And we have seen this. And it's important to highlight the symbolic nature of the annual budget in reflecting the government's dedication to its citizens, right? Now, I must acknowledge the Vice President's statement that the 2024 National Financial Plan will not impose any new taxes on citizens, right? So we remember a time where we had 200 taxes imposed on us as citizens, and we got an increase at public service, a significant increase at public service. Now, just this weekend, I was speaking to a teacher who was saying to me that she feels like teachers aren't getting anything anymore. Nobody, oh my God, nobody cares about teachers. Richard Stanislas, don't worry with no shadow budget. We ain't got to type with no shadow budget. But she's claiming that teachers aren't getting anything. Nobody cares about teachers. And I'm like, what nonsense is this? Look at the advances made in the education sector. The president has put in a program to advance housing for teachers. Teachers no longer have to take their personal income and spend it on school supplies and the things they need, teaching aids and that kind of thing. The government supplies that money. So for the young lady to make such a statement, it was beyond me. Now, mind you, this teacher lives on the highway, in one of the villages on the highway, right? So I asked the teacher, I said, man, okay, you got this salary increase, right? What was done when you got the salary increase? What was done in your community? What was done in the area where you're living to better the area and where you're living? You got to travel the highway every day, born on billing. What was done? The resources, did they do anything to it? What did they do in your community? They build a new school. What? Up to now, you can't get a response from her. And that is what saddens me about some people when it comes to, talking about this Irfan Ali-led government and trying to compare it with what we had before. That same teacher has several children that she lost the $10,000 for, that she's now receiving 40, right? And would have the gall to talk about certain things, right? So in terms of inclusive support for society, the expected support for various sections of society include the elderly, school children, public servants, and persons with disabilities. And even in these categories, we've seen how the government has shown interest. Joint services got back their one-off grant. The president announced increases for joint services ranks at different levels, nurses at different levels, right? Housing policy for the housing program for the teachers, because you care for the school students, feeding program. The elderly, the pension was increased. They're getting these one-off grants at different points throughout the year. Persons with dialysis, they're now getting money, which they did not get before, to assist with their treatment. Persons with disabilities are getting public assistance and that kind of thing. They're getting grants. Just last week, and this is somebody I know personally, Valesis Edwards, a differently abled person, was able to receive a grant from the Small Business Bureau through the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, right? And I'm thinking that he is going to invest in some sort of pig farming or something like that. And he is in a wheelchair. So there's opportunity for all Guyanese, Afro, Indo, Amo, Chinese, Portuguese, whatever it is, right? Now, it is important to emphasize the government's inclusive approach to policy making. So there's always consultation. The government is always reaching out to the people to find out what the needs are, where they can step in, where they can provide some sort of assistance. And we've been seeing this consistently. We have been seeing this consistently since the Irfan Ali administration took office. Big up yourself, Shakila Bridgelal. How you doing? Passad Party, I'm glad you're here now. Y'all share the life for me, for the persons who's still in the old life. Just looking at my mouth walking up, right? So all these things have been happening. All these things have been happening, and it's important to remind persons that just not so long ago, right, you had a salary increase that was more significant than was given this year, 6.5, right? But what else were you getting as a nation, as a people in your community? Big up Stephanie, Renata, Nelson, Moore. You're late, but you're here. Big up yourself. Thank you for adding Miss Candace Nelson. She late too, Rocky, morning to you. Thank you for joining us from Suriname. Right. So, like I'm saying, we just had a situation where you had a significant salary increase from the opposition whilst they were in power, but literally got nothing else. So, in terms of community roads, you got nothing. In terms of development of infrastructure, you got nothing. Assistance in the agri sector, nothing. Assistance for tourism, nothing. Education, boats, buses, and bicycles, which was basically BS, right? Basically BS. You took away a grant that had the ability to impact persons individually. Just a second. Yeah. So you took away a grant that could benefit people or students individually and go and get a set of old bus. You understand me? For the people cheering get carbon monoxide poisoning in and play you dropping people up and down the place. For what? Right? Did the attendance in school during that period increase? Somebody needs to look at that. Were the fact is, okay, we had these buses. Were the children going to school more? Did attendance rise? We need to check it. I'm going to ask Minister Manchan to look into that because the buses basically serve no purpose. You understand me? Well, they dropped some children to school. I left it at that. We can leave it at that, right? But in terms of the Irfan-led administration, you are seeing investment in all sectors, right? Now, the government's focus on tourism, the tourism sector, and its potential for economic growth and creation is very important. We've seen numerous facilities being opened in various regions across the country, and those facilities and operators are receiving the support from the government through the Ministry of Tourism and its minister, the Honorable Oni Walran, right? Now, the minister's strategies to enhance the overall experience and experience for tourists and visitors has been complemented internationally. Guyana is now on the map. Well, it has been on the map as one of the best natural vacationing destinations of flora and fauna and that kind of thing. It is something that cannot be quantified properly. There are still animals, there are still plants in our forests that have not been discovered as yet, right? We have I think it's the Queen's Royal Orchid. It's an orchid. I can't remember the Queen's Royal, one of them, but it's an orchid. This orchid is only found in Guyana, only found at Kaitro Falls. You understand me? So those kinds of things are what the government, through the minister, are trying to put out there so people would know. Come and see Guyana. Come and invest in Guyana. And y'all often hear me talk about an enabling environment. That is very important, right? Let's jump over to education. It must be emphasized the importance of fostering a robust and inclusive learning environment. And we have been seeing that with the actions of Minister Manichan and her team, right? The expected comprehensive plan in the budget to ensure every child has access to quality learning will be revealed today. We will know how much the Education Ministry will have to spend and invest in our future as Guyanese, the future of Guyana, the children of Guyana. And I know some people might be sitting here looking with your child. So the better the education system gets, the more the government invests in the education system, is the more surety you have that your child coming up will be able to be a skilled person, even if it's not, when I say skilled person, whether it be technical or in the academic arena, the point is The government is putting systems in place so that everybody is able to shine. Persons who are able to shine in academics have access to the Gold program, to so many other programs, to get scholarships and these kinds of things. Persons who are not so academically inclined, they are not pushed by the wayside. The government sees the importance of having skilled technical people to build this Guyana that the president and the People's Progressive Party Civic is trying to currently build. So heavy investment is being placed in training persons in technical capacities, whether it be traditional or oil and gas. And we have seen the increase in persons registering with BIT, heavy duty machine operators, whatever courses, other courses BIT offer, right? But we've seen that increase. Let's look at healthcare provision. It must be discussed the government's commitment to addressing critical healthcare issues. Now, how are they doing that? Improvement in services. Look, just right here, later on, I'm about to tell you guys about a neonatal unit costing 38 million that was just recently put at Saudi Hospital. Minister Frank Anthony just commissioned that facility, the neonatal center. Brand new, 38 million. Mind you, there's also a brand new hospital that is going to be constructed. So whilst you're building capacity, you're maintaining your ability to look after the welfare and the healthcare of the citizenry. New hospital at Palmyra there in New Amsterdam. New hospital going up somewhere around Diamond there in the parts on the new road, not Heroes Highway, the two-lane that is going, I think it's the 6th Street Diamond there. There's a hospital or something under construction there. So we see the investment in the healthcare. Now, there has been a focus on expanding. And like I said, hospitals, healthcare centers, health huts, training of midwives, registered nurses, nursing assistant, caregiver. Minister Anthony training everybody. He left nobody. Once you're interested in getting into the healthcare field, there's opportunity for you to come in, be trained, and serve your country. Right? There's also the push to ensure that necessary medication for persons in this country that should be available at public health facilities, they have access to it. Not having a drug barn that is empty, holding expired condoms and some other stupidness that they had in there. That's the difference. That is the difference. Now you're seeing prudent planning. Now you're seeing policies that are actually impactful to the citizens of Guyana. There is no transformation that you guys can speak about. Everybody on this live currently, there's no transformation that you can speak about that can be contrast to the Heroes Highway. Thank you, Stephanie. Under the coalition, there is no development that you can contrast with Independence Boulevard. You cannot compare Independence Boulevard to anything under the coalition government. And these are the people that are going to be seeking your vote next year. Right? The head can't good. They're smoking the cheapest. They're smoking the cheapest. Now, in terms of infrastructure, oh my goodness. Listen, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous, the transformation in the infrastructural landscape of this country since President Ali took office in August of 2020, right? Now, major resources have been allocated to the Public Works Ministry to ensure that we have construction and maintenance of thoroughfares, bridges, and key projects. It must be emphasized the economic development, improved connectivity, and job opportunities resulting from these investments. So with the roads, people got more money in the pocket because they ain't got buy spring, they ain't got buy tire when it busts and them kind of thing. Right? Key projects like the gas to shore project that will bring down the electricity costs. Make cooking gas available for sale in Guyana here, produced in Guyana here at a lower cost. Give us the ability to sell the excess cooking gas to whoever else want to buy in the Caribbean or further afield. The new Demerara River crossing to bring ease to our traffic woes on the east and the west side. That's the main reason East Bank and Tongue people don't like West Side people. The traffic, oh Jesus. Y'all think it's joke, it stress people out. That will bring alleviation. The Heroes Highway, Jesus Christ. Listen, a Lindener. I was in Linden Friday. I was in Linden recently. A Lindener turned to me and said, oh God, I love what they do with the Hero Highway. Oh God. Oh. Right? These Lindeners ain't got to deal with Harbor Bridge traffic. They ain't got to deal with Diamond traffic and all of that. You know, currently, do you know currently, you could drive from Mandela and come out at, is Busby Dam? Is Busby? Samaru Dam? Just after Grove. You could come out till from Mandela, Heroes Highway, straight. Well, you get into Diamond and you cut through. You understand? Till out there, Samantha Point. That is right. Sorry. You could go from Mandela and come straight out at Samantha Point currently. Y'all tell me one road the government of Granger built to that extent. Anybody on this live here. You understand? I see. Oh gosh, this was the name I find for this lady. Listen, Nima Flubes. I saw her post a video of some man talking about some road in Mocka that was in a horrible condition for 5 years under the administration the Mocka people vote for, and they do nothing to it, much less Burnham Drive in Burnham Drive or Avenue or Boulevard. Whichever one, it named after Burnham in Mocka. President Ali fixed it. Now you have central government taking up the responsibilities of City Hall, some of these NDCs, and going into these communities and fixing the roads. Because at the end of the day, when President Ali walks around or Minister Ejil or Minister Indar walks around, persons will blame them. Persons will say, Minister, look my road. Mr. President, look my road. You understand? And the president and those ministers, while they enlighten people in relation to whose purview it falls under, they cannot ignore the cries of the citizens. At the end of the day, they have been elected to government to manage this country and to bring ease to persons in communities. So we have the Public Works Ministry stepping up and building roads. Now this guy doing this video has all the knowledge on road construction, the how the cement mixing and the hardening inside and when it's supposed to dry and how it's supposed to dry, and a set of worries. Right? But guess what? The bill of quantities were all made available at the NDC there in Mocka. Oh Christ, y'all meet we halfway, you know? Meet the government halfway. You've heard over and over the minister, the president, the vice president, prime minister, everybody said, this is your community, right? You have to take an interest in it. The minister's not there looking over these contracts. So if you, sir, in the community, see the mixture, and you know so much about hardener and when it's supposed to dry and how it's supposed to dry and a set of stupidness, why you didn't nip it in the bud and go and complain and say, look, they're mixing this thing right? But you wait until the road done. And God forbid I see what the road used to look like before, right? You wait till the road done to go to say, you wait until the road done to go and make yourself a comic in a video to talk about consistency and hardening on. The road ain't gonna last. Let me see how long it lasts, sir. Let's see how long it lasts. How long did the one you had before last? And what condition it was in? Don't show me a new road that this government built for you and complain. You show me the old road you had. Show me the road that they do over. What it used to look like. And what damage it used to cause your vehicle. How it used to look like. What it used to look like when the rain fall in your area, in Mokadir. That is what I'm interested in finding out. Right? And again, if you saw and you have this knowledge that these contractors are not sticking to the requirements of road construction, school construction, whatever it is, you got roles in your community, you want to see the thing do good, say something, go to the councillors you vote for and tell them, hey, look, they ain't doing it right. Why not take a photo of them mixing it and say, look the consistency, it ain't right. Why you didn't bid for the contract? Yeah, thank you and Kosi. I can't put my fuck, I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna repeat myself. But seriously, this NDC, and I'm glad Miss Stephanie Nelson Moore is here. This NDC, and I wish I could call her and let her speak, but I want to put her on the spot. Hopefully, I'll get her on the program later in the week to let y'all know what exactly was going on in Mokadir for all the time. You understand me? When Moka had the NDC and the executive, when the mayor city council had the council and the executive, they didn't do shit in none of these communities. Anyway, back to budget. Let's get sidetracked on these people and their stupidness. You understand? Now, let's look at green initiatives and environmental conservation. It must be highlighted President Ali's commitment to sustainable development and environmental conservation. We've seen whilst Guyana has been pushing to explore its oil resources, the traditional sectors have been focused on, the green initiatives has been focused on. Guyana is the first country to actually monetize its carbon credits and put those credits back into development of this country, back into the first people of this country, right? So indigenous villages are benefiting from those carbon credits to better their villages. So just the other day, we had a representative of the Prime Minister, Mr. Earing Ward for Region 7, talking about a village in the hinterland there in Region 7, taking their money to develop a economic center or something of the sort to generate funds for the village, right? What initiatives we had of this nature? Matter of fact, I think I took down this photo. Let me see if it's still here. I uploaded it to Facebook. But y'all remember when our budget was mainly taxes on the people? Y'all remember when it was mainly taxes on the people to stress out people? No, this PVPC administration who do so much in so little time. Y'all gonna hear what gonna go on when they got the debate section of the budget presentation. And of course, you're going Chung today or what? We're going to listen to Minister Ashley Singh tell us what our future is looking like for 2024. Guys, it's gonna be crazy there at Chung, but I can't wait to hear what Minister Ashley Singh has in store for the people of Guyana. Right now, there will be measures in the budget aimed at promoting green initiatives, renewable energy projects, and efforts to combat climate change. And I just spoke about whilst we are developing our oil and gas sector, there is still a focus on going green, right? And I was glad that we have leaders who make representation for us that is sensible, because a lot of these first world countries are pushing toward world countries to go green, go green, go green, go green, go green, right? And they are investing in more oil, investing in more coal to ensure that their first world nations can run properly. And developing nations like Guyana mustn't exploit our oil resources so that we can develop and catch up with them. We must go green right away. But prudent planning, sensible leadership, there must be a balance, and that is what we're seeing through an Irfan Ali-led administration. God forbid we had gray engine this time. I say it, God forbid it. Forbid it, right? Now, I must discuss the anticipated allocation of resources advancing the food sector and to achieve food security. And for 2023, well, from 2020 to now, we have seen various initiatives in this regard. So the president has been emphasizing lowering the food import bill. So things like broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, we are now producing in the shade house through the shade house initiative currently, and eventually it will get to the capacity where there's no need to import these things anymore. We're producing our own broccoli, we're producing our own cauliflower, we're producing our own carrots, and at a high standard, right? We've seen the incorporation of the black belly sheep, the black giant chicken, the cage culture that has been happening across the country. We see the investment in the soybean farm so that poultry operators here need not pay the high prices for feed that has to be imported. Guyana can produce its own chicken feed, which will in turn lower the price of chicken on the market, right? We've seen the diversification of crops. So with the El Nino, sometimes the heavy rain, all sorts of things are happening. Cash crops are not always the viable option. We've seen the government create an avenue so farmers can get into hemp farming. You understand me? Hydroponics. And again, high valued crop in the shade house initiative. So listen, again, you have a government that is aware of what the issues are and planning for the future. I also have to emphasize the government's intention that 100% of what Guyanese consume should be cultivated and grown on national soil. Right? And there's a plan, not just a phrase. You know when people playing domino and they go in and play a tree, there's how they say, Bornum se plantam, blam, and lashong the domino. That was the PNC's initiative in terms of advancing agriculture. Big shout out to Night Sunil on the live. What I know is the hey brother, pick up yourself. You understand? That was their plan to advance agriculture. Slap a domino, number 3 domino on the table, plant it. Bottom say plant it, plant. That was it. Y'all remember Grow More and which government it came under? Y'all remember Grow More and which government it came under? Now look at the policies that are being put out in the agricultural sector from this government. Right? Since Robert Prasad, who was agri minister before Robert Prasad? But I think Sachir Yourself. One or three. Yeah, I think so. So look at the difference between a Robert Prasad, right? Okay, good. Robert Prasad, Noel Holder, Zulfikar Mustafa, right? Look at the difference in leadership in agriculture. Everything Noel Holder didn't know. Right? Everything Noel Holder didn't know. Couldn't save the rice deal. He couldn't do nothing. Look at our current Minister of Agriculture. The man in an accident one day, the next day, the man back on the road pushing agriculture initiatives. We got a pasteurization plant getting set up. I think it's in region 5 or 6. Up Borby side. You understand me? Look at the assistance rice farmers are getting. Look at the assistant cash crop farmers are getting. Outside of that, NDIA, the fishery sector. Look at the difference. And that's just Zulfikar Mustafa. Look at Robert Passad. Compare that to Noel Holder. Y'all remember when Robert Passad was Minister of Agriculture, how things used to go? Y'all remember? Buxton people get land to farm at force when Robert Passad was minister. And remember, people don't like black people. I went there personally and interviewed at the time, I think he was head of some project or something, Jocelyn McKenzie. When they make the land available, drainage, seeds, everything, grow more, Robert Passad. And these are the things people must remember. And y'all compare those two ministers to a Noel Holder. Noel Holder, you never even used to see. People don't know who he is. Look, you can't really bother with the coalition government and the foolishness that they want to tell you. Right? President Ali's vision of building a knowledge-based society that empowers individuals and drives sustainable development is evident. And we can only have high expectations with this upcoming budget, which will showcase government's commitment to the various sectors and every single citizen of this country. Every single citizen. There was no surge of Afro-Guyanese contractors 2015 to 2020, right? There was no 30,000 solar initiative 2015 to 2020. You had no Hero Highway. You had no community roads. You had no New Harbor Bridge. You had an unsolicited bid that was taken to the shadow cabinet. God, there was even shadow when there was in government. Look with this photo there. Who see the shadow cabinet? Look, I don't know. And I think some of y'all just think, anyway, I ain't gonna say nothing. Let me find the shadow cabinet for you. Before I do, I want to show y'all two photos, right? And this is what we could continue to expect from an Irfan Ali-led government. Now, President Ali went to, I think it's leg one. Let me make sure. Just give me a second. Let me make sure the area is correct. For the opposition start giving you wrong information. President Ali. Right. So, President Ali was in leg one. I was correct. Right? Make a promise to these people. Perhaps excavating your skin. You understand? Delivering on the promises that were made. I spoke to you about indigenous villages getting LCDS money. Let me say, this happened under the coalition and get the LCDS money. That would have been it. Y'all want to get nothing more. Nothing more. But under this government, you can get your LCDS money, and the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs will also ensure that you have a lovely Madeleine bush truck to traverse the area. Right? This here photo was taken over this weekend at oh gosh, it's region 9. I can't pronounce this name. I gotta take some time and learn the names of these indigenous villages. No, I'm gonna butcher it. I'm gonna butcher it and I'm gonna look bad. So I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. All we have to show now that we can look at, touch, and say, hey, the coalition did it, is that cow pen on Homestretch Avenue, the Vagrants Holiday Inn, the homeless Marriott on Mandela. Let me jump to something because we don't really hear much about it. I want you to compare both ministers of culture, youth, and sport with the current minister of culture, youth, and sport. Remember, we had George Norton, who was kicked out, well, of health and sent to culture, youth, and sport. Drug ban debacle. Then you remember when he been at culture, youth, and sport, he and the former director, youth, they're running amok in the place. What's your name again, by? Carmichael using people documents to bid on food contract, to supply food for youth programs. And I can say this without fear because here is why I did the investigation on it. I submit the recordings to the police. And the only reason Melissa Carmichael in lock up or lose her work, you understand me, is because her accomplices begged the lady who they used her documents when she was overseas not to press charges, not to move forward with it. And I could identify the lady as well. Tell y'all where she living. You understand? Compare that to what is happening now. The build any stadium, the do back any ground. Who was the minister who went to Boxon and do the ground up there? Huh? Who was the minister? I remember personally, and that's why, look, I'll tell you my personal experiences. I remember going to an outreach in Boxton, right? Going to an outreach in Boxton. Minister Ramson, the AG, Prime Minister, Minister Hamilton, I think Minister Crowell was there, Minister Darmlal at the time was there, a couple of ministers, AC ministers. And right then and there, the people of Buxton made a request for, I think, basketball ring, some sporting equipment and that kind of thing. Do you know, and this is Googleable information, do you know that before that meeting was ended that very day, those people got the stuff? Brand new basketball ring, brand new sporting equipment. The ground got light now. It got a proper fence. That the coalition government, who so love black people, Buxtonian who just come down to tongue and broke up and behave bad on their behalf. They couldn't do anything for those people. Right? Not even fix roads in Buxton. Much less Linden. Don't even let me run to Linden. Because Linden suffered under the coalition. It was so ridiculous. And Linden is their stronghold. That is to show you the kind of love that they have for these so-called Afro-Guyanese they care about. Any of you looking at my program, Community Talk, almost 80% of the contractors that I've spoken to are Afro-Guyanese. I spoke to a young man on the Avenue of the Republic the other day who, for the first time, won a contract for cleaning works in the city, helping out City Hall. And the man said it was like a dream come true. He was able to employ people. He was able to impact the community by ensuring it's kept clean and, you know, ensure the environment is safe and healthy for persons. Right? And that is what the PPP does. It creates an environment or creates an opportunity for you to flourish. You, as an individual, now have to step up, advance to be recognized, and take that opportunity. So don't sit at home with your business registration and yell, I'm not getting contracts. You can't get contracts like that. You got to go and bid. You understand? You want a supply contract? You got to go and bid. Every single day in the papers, there are opportunities for persons, young entrepreneurs. Every day, there's an opportunity for an uneducated person to become a skilled person in so many areas that are available for free through the BIT program. For those who finish high school, can't afford UG, but want better themselves, you got the GOLD program. Free international universities for Guyanese to go and study at. Compare that to the increase of UG fees by, I think, 35% or so. Compare that. Now they want to go and tell people that they're going to make UG free. This look like a jackass parade. Everybody on this life, they're in a jackass parade. It got to be. It got to be. If they didn't do it then, what are they doing it now for? Y'all remember Rangers' plan for job creation for young people? Dog food, plantain chips, cook up, bloody well cook up. Bye. Look, y'all better stop it. 2025 coming. You hear me? Local government elections is coming around again. Y'all better stop it and catch sense. Catch sense. Guys, I got to go. Today is a very busy day. Look out for the go have a cheese. Look out for the budget presentation for 2024. And I'll most likely see you guys from the parliament today. You guys have a productive day. Please look out for the kids on the road. Remember, they're back at school. Be great, Guyanese, whether you're here or overseas. They got a video with a lady warning social media influencers. Y'all share it. That lady make a lot of sense. You understand me? That lady make a lot of sense. Anyway, guys, have a great day. It was great being here with you. Again, as I always say, it's all about peace. It's all about love. And most importantly, the thing that we cannot live without, the thing that we need the most, right? One Guyana.
Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces.